that we made, and we have the capability of doing it, but now we have to stop talking and go out there and do it.
Our mindset has to be better. We can't focus on the things we can't control. We can control our effort, we can control the way we play defensively, we can, on that side of the ball, doesn't take as much skill, and so we just got to be connected better.
Some strong words there from the two leaders of this Knicks team, or two of the team's leaders. And Clyde, you've been a part of a lot of players-only meetings over the years. What's your experience been with these kind of discussions?
Well, I've definitely been there, done that, folks. And what happens when you get to this point, you reach the fork in the road. So in that meeting, everybody get a chance to say what they want to say, from the first guy to the last guy. Clear the air, and like Hart say, talk is cheap. Then you got to go out on the court and do it. But when you're at the fork in the road, one road will take you to glory, the other one to purgatory. So the Knicks have to figure it out tonight.
Brooklyn may be in a little bit of purgatory on their side. They've got the 5th worst record in the league, but you always have to worry about a hot scorer like Michael Porter Jr. It's his first year not with the Denver Nuggets. He's been allowed to shine, and he might be on his way to his first All-Star selection.
He's been a real Nugget. Prolific scoring for Michael, 25 a game, 7 rebounds, and you think he's about 6'7", but he's 6'11". Look how he moves and grooves. The motivation, and you know he has the infinite range with that 3-ball. The Knicks have been vulnerable throughout the season with the 3-ball. We know that in transition, on the ball defense. So they've got to contain this guy tonight if they're going to continue their dominance over the Nets at the world's most famous arena.
And there have been a handful of shooters who have gotten hot against the Knicks lately. Porter was one of them back in November, but after getting 22 points in the first half, they actually held him to 0 for 3 from the field the rest of the way. Well, it was a rough night on Monday, but Mitchell Robinson was one of the bright points. He had a double-double in the first half alone. That's the 3rd time that's happened in his career, and he pulled down 8 more offensive rebounds. He leads the league with about 5 a game. The Knicks have won 12 consecutive matchups over the Nets, and they'll have a chance to clinch another season series against their crosstown rivals tonight. And above all else, it's an opportunity to get back in the win column and get the second half of the season back on track. It's Knicks and Nets coming up next on MSG.
To all New York Rangers supporters, all I can say from the bottom of my heart, thank you. The people and the city I love, the Big Apple.
The new Infiniti QX80 and QX60 Sport are dark chrome, stealthed out thieves. With beauty that steals your attention and the competition's thunder. The first ever Infiniti QX80 and QX60 Sport. Make the perfect getaway in the new Infiniti QX60 Sport during the once-in-a-winter-time event only at your local Infiniti retailer.
The thing about long-term relationships is sometimes you need to spice things up. Look at that. Crispy chicken from Taco Bell, a brand new classic. You're welcome.
Yet another toothpaste that does not whiten. Girl, this one works.
Basic toothpaste stops at the top. Crest goes deeper to dissolve the bonds that hold stains to teeth for whiter teeth in one day. Crest.
Step inside the game you love with the NBA app. Tap to watch every game as it's happening.
Jalen Brunson does it again!
And never miss a moment of the jaw-dropping action. Get closer to the players than anywhere else. Follow the latest schedules, scores, and stats. Keep up with every story from across the league. And with NBA ID, it's all personalized to you. The game lives here. Download today.
The season's in full swing. Momentum's building in this building. We make our next move together. So be here for it. Always Knicks, New York forever.
Getting you ready for the Knicks and the Nets at Madison Square Garden. Tip-off coming up in just a few minutes. To get ready for a game that a lot of fans and players, too, have been anticipating after what happened on Monday night and a lot of the frustration in that locker room on Monday night after that loss to the Dallas Mavericks. Hi, everybody. Alan Hahn here in the Lexus Gameside studio. There's been a lot of talk after that game and yesterday. The time for talk is over. The time for action is now for this Knicks team in a game like tonight. And the one thing you want to watch is the start of the game. As Caesars Sportsbook presents today's advanced statistics, and you look right there, part of the issue over the last 11 games has been the starts. As you see, opponents scoring over 30 points a game in first quarters and shooting a very comfortable 51%. And the 40% from three as well is something to keep an eye on, because that shows you allowing an opponent to get way too comfortable. The Knicks cannot let the Nets be comfortable here at the Garden. Tip-off is next. You will not want to miss the start of this one.
The Jeep brand is still keeping it fresh after 85 years. See for yourself at the Jeep Start Something New sales event. With more choices, more features, and even more adventure for everyone. Start your adventure today at the Jeep Start Something New sales event with a great deal. Jeep, there's only one.
During the Jeep Start Something New sales event, well-qualified current Jeep Wrangler or Grand Cherokee lessees can lease the 2026 Jeep Wrangler Sport S for $329 a month. Don't miss this great offer. See your tri-state area Jeep brand dealer.
It's the NBA on Prime.
Thursday, NBA rivals week heats up. First, it's the showdown in the Lone Star State as the Warriors test their long range in Dallas against the Mavericks. Then, it's a battle in the City of Angels as the Lakers go across town to face the Clippers. Warriors, Mavericks, Lakers, Clippers. Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern, only on Prime.
Introducing Chipotle's new high-protein menu with real chicken, grilled fresh, no antibiotics, no fillers, ever. Starting at $3.50, packed with protein, Chipotle's new high-protein menu is real protein you want to eat. Chipotle, for real.
Your perfect winter getaway is calling. Escape to the great outdoors. Relax and unwind in style. From the bright lights of the big city to the wide open places beyond it, and everywhere in between. New York State, everything you love. Plan your trip at iloveny.com.
Dreaming of getting to the big game?
I wanted to go since I was a kid.
Try Priceline and get a last-minute flight deal. Travel safe, man. Child. Priceline.
The next chapter of Audi performance is here. With Quattro all-wheel drive you can feel. And interiors refined to elevate every mile. One thing's clear, performance never goes out of style. Get exceptional offers at your local Audi dealer.
Knicks at home on a Wednesday night in need of a win against the Brooklyn Nets. New York is 2-0 against Brooklyn so far this year. This will be the third of 4 matchups this season. Starting lineups are presented by Genesis. Same starting 5 as last night for the Knicks. And the Nets are starting to play their rookies a little bit more. This is the second youngest roster in the NBA, behind only Washington. Drake Powell, they got 22nd overall out of UNC. And then Yegar Dielman was their lottery pick. He went number 8 out of BYU. It's time now for the GMC Keys to the Game. We are professional grade. See your local GMC dealer. All right, Clyde, what do you got?
I got Tenacious D. The Knicks have not been doing that on the ball and with transition D. Moving and grooving. They've got to do that tonight against these young players. Try to do some back doors, pick and rolls. Bounding and astounding, which the Knicks has done all season, getting second and third opportunities.
Now, the Nets have been a get-right game for the Knicks for the last couple of years. The week of Thanksgiving this season, they were 9-6. Then they beat the Nets in Brooklyn and went on to win 12 of their next 13 games, including the NBA Cup. You go back to last year, they started that season 5-6. And they wound up winning 2 in a row against Brooklyn, and that launched a stretch of 19 wins in 23 games. Certainly a tall order to ask for that kind of run, but that's the response the Knicks are hoping for after their second 4-game losing streak in the month of January.
These two teams have met 220 times, folks. The Nets have won 107. The Knicks have won 113 games.
Brunson pulls up from the foul line and starts things off right for the Knicks.
We mentioned the captain called a team meeting to talk things over, so he's off to an auspicious start.
Defending Drake Powell. Almost lost the handle. Gets a screen from Claxton, the longest tenured net. This is the rookie Dioman for 3, and he drills it over Bridges. Yegor Dioman, just 19 years old, out of Russia.
Yeah, he's averaging 10 points a game, and obviously his forte is the 3-ball.
The Nets dropped 2 spots in the lottery this past summer, and they took Dioman at 8th. They've been happy with his play, especially his 3-point shooting the last month or so. Brunson off the handoff from Towns, got blocked by Claxton.
Claxton's 7-footer, averaging 1 block, has it now.
Got the 3rd most blocks in the NBA over the last 2+ years, behind Brook Lopez and Victor Wembanyama.
Claxton, a $100 million man, so they just signed him to a long-term contract.
His former teammate Mikal Bridges works the handle down the lane. 2 guys came at him, so we'll find Anunoby.
We mentioned dishing and swishing. A good job here by the Knicks.
Bridges gets to his spot and splashes it home to put the Knicks in front.
So the Nets have been giving up 125 points over the last 2 games. So they have, like the Knicks, are not focusing on the defense.
Dioman's feeling it early, and he connects again. Yegor Dioman from downtown.
And that was really Russia with love.
You've been sitting on that one, Clyde. 19 years old from Moscow as Bridges works Porter off the dribble. Well, crowded inside. That's out of bounds off of Brooklyn, they'll say.
And Bridges is why the Net team is the youngest team in the league, folks. They had 5 first-round draft choices.
That is an NBA record. And they're playing mostly veterans the first month or so, but they're getting younger as Brunson bricked the 3. Thought some down-low contact from Powell.
Remember, Captain opened up the game 12 feet away.
Claxton with good defense from Towns can't hit inside.
Yeah, Towns not creating a foul, which he's been very vulnerable to early on.
On the other end, Towns with momentum. He'll get to the free throw line. And you're right, Clyde, this is the most foul-ridden stretch of his career. He's committed 5 personals each of his last 4 games. It's never happened before for Karl-Anthony Towns.
Yeah, more than 3 of those have been on the offensive end for Towns. That time showing his agility, hostility. They get to the line for 2.
That's why I love that last sequence. That was great verticality, excellent interior defense to stop Claxton, and then he gets aggressive on the offensive end.
He had been averaging about 7 free throw attempts per game. 83% shooting.
He's at about 6.5 right now.
He's mentioned in so many rumors about trades now.
But one thing you had to like was the effort on the glass these last 3 games. 16 rebounds a night, 5 offensive rebounds. Just trying to generate offense however we can, even if the 3-point shot hasn't been as consistent this year.
Last year he was behind Sabonis in the most rebounds, 11 a game. This year he's behind Jokic, still averaging about 11 per game.
And he gets both foul shots. Mike Brown's talked all year about how difficult it is for Karl-Anthony Towns to learn his offensive system. 39 games to go, so they got to get it together as Porter works out of a double team with Powell. Now it's Dioman who's knocked down 2 already. Bridges off his feet. Porter step beyond the line. He's got Brunson on him, so he'll hoist. Can't hit, and Hart gets the rebound.
I like the swarming D that time by the Knicks. Doing a good job with double teaming.
Towns up top. Shows the ball to Claxton and hands to Brunson. Inside, Towns has the smaller Porter, and he takes advantage of the mismatch.
Bulldozer finesse for Towns to start the game.
Had one of his most efficient games as a Knick earlier this year against Brooklyn. Dioman in and out, and Towns able to get the rebound. He was 14 out of 20 in Brooklyn in late November, 37 points. Anunoby with the spin, and he draws the foul on Dioman. That one wouldn't drop with 2 free throws coming.
The Knicks with a lot of pep in their step. We're seeing Towns moving and grooving. Brunson elusive, and now OG driving adroitly along the baseline. And there's a hack and whack to send him to the line for 2.
Watch any college football lately, Clyde?
Yeah, I was watching it. Yep.
It's a maybe the biggest Hoosier fan in the building, OG Anunoby.
The man from Indiana by way of London, England.
He said back in his day, if they made a bowl game, it felt like a big year. And his 2 seasons in Bloomington, they went 6-7, the Hoosier football team. And they are now national champions.
Yep. It's slush for him, paying off for him.
As Claxton fakes the handoff to Powell.
Knicks doing a good job hounding.
And Porter missed the bunny. Hart another rebound.
Hart averages 7 bounds, doing a good job. Very aggressive the Knicks are getting to the hoop.
You wanted a foul there on Powell, but it'll be a Knick inbound.
Powell doing a good job staying in front of him.
Bridges off the inbound, finds Towns. He'll line it up and knock it down. Karl Anthony Towns, 7 points in the first 4 minutes.
He's been very erratic with the 3 ball. Make 1, miss 2. So trying to get on now. The Nets reluctant to shoot the ball now.
Porter never shy, but the 8-0 Knick run continues.
And 1 and done for the Nets. No offensive rebound.
Hart down the lane, blocked by Claxton, but a whistle and a goaltend. 10-0 Knicks burst in the opening 4 minutes. Exactly the kind of start you were hoping for.
Yeah, Hart had been flirting with driving and thriving. So previously the ball was knocked out of bounds. This time he would not be denied. So we've given him 2 points on the block shot by Claxton.
Look how quickly that 10-0 run has happened. Here's Clowney. And they're going to get a foul on Anunoby fighting over that Claxton screen.
See, no reason to create that foul. The guys are not scoring. Why are you fouling them? That's been a problem for the Knicks. It's been problematic for them all season. There's Claxton.
He's having a career year. 13 points a game and 4 assists tonight. He actually has the first 2 triple-doubles of his career this season.
The center is leading them in dishing.
Claxton slowly down the lane, can't hit. And they do a lot of dribble handoffs, this Nets team under Jordy Fernandez. Brunson slashing.
Claxton on his case, doing a good job.
Brunson is matched up with the center Claxton. He'll step back for 2 and drills it.
We mentioned the captain opened the game in the paint 8 feet away. Then he missed a couple of shots and draining this one.
Very efficient start for the Knicks. A lot of it coming inside the arc as Dioman tries a shot put that grazes the front rim. Ball available. Anunoby got a hand to it, but Porter came up with it, missed the layup, and then back to Anunoby at the seat of his pants.
Nets becoming a basket case now.
Into the corner for Brunson. Breaking down Clowney and draws the foul. That'll lead us to a timeout with 6:48 to go in the first quarter. We're seeing the intensity and the efficiency he wanted to see tonight, Clark.
And the captain moving and grooving, shaking and baking as the Nets need to.
Not long ago, when times were simpler, this was a healthy breakfast. This was a powerful workout. And this was a hero. Perhaps now more than ever, we need that kind of hero again.
For current eligible GM lessees, get this exceptional lease offer on this 2025 Cadillac XT5. Visit your local Cadillac dealer today.
Scorching. He got it.
we made significant changes on both sides of the ball to help them. All I'm saying is we didn't overhaul everything, throw everything out the window, but we've made some changes. And like I said before, my staff's been great. We have to, just like, you know, when you go through this, you tell your players to look in the mirror. It starts with me. I got to look in the mirror. I got to keep trying to find different ways to help them and to put them at their strengths.
That was Mike Brown at practice yesterday. So not hitting the panic button, not completely overhauling what they do, but like we've seen all year, Clyde, this is a coaching staff making tweaks and trying to push the right buttons to get this thing right as the Knicks are in desperate need of a win.
Yeah, like we said, they've reached a fork in the road. So they've got to try to change it and do better. So far, so good. Off to an auspicious start here, especially the captain. He's at the line looking for 2 more.
Brunson's got 4 points, and it's Karl Anthony Towns with 7 to lead the way. And you have to like the defense so far, Clyde. They gave up 2 early threes to Yegor Diomin, but since then, the Knicks have forced 7 consecutive misses from Brooklyn, and it's now a 13-0 run.
The Nets have been helping them. Terrible shot selection. They have no continuity and no spontaneity to start the game.
You're going to see a lot of 3-point attempts tonight from the Nets. 48% of their shots are from 3. That's the second highest rate in the NBA, behind only Golden State. Another team made a substitution during that first media timeout as Porter ends the 14-0 Knick run. He makes 4 3-pointers a game, which is 3rd in the NBA behind only Steph Curry and Donovan Mitchell.
Nets trying to tighten up their defense now.
Towns hands back to Brunson, speeds to the baseline. Back to Towns, who wasn't ready for it, and the Knicks turn it over.
Claxton, 7-footer.
He can handle it, and he can score. He took it right to the rim.
Yeah, going 40, well, 80 feet off the bounce.
Nick Claxton is 6'11", 228 pounds. He said back in 2023, he's never lost to the Knicks in his career. Since he said that, it's been 12 straight New York wins as Hart gets a friendly roll off a nice setup from Karl Anthony Towns.
Towns averages 3 assists. Does an excellent job finding a cutter that time in Hart.
Claxton met by Hart, and they will call the foul.
We said, you remember before, OG made a foolish foul, and this time Hart mauling the guy. Very obvious foul.
You see what the rotation looks like tonight, Clyde. It's really the first time all year during this past week that just about everybody's available for the Knicks. Monday, we saw an 8-man rotation. It was only Robinson, Shamet, and McBride off the bench. Tonight, Gershon Yabusele is going to get some early run, along with Brunson, Bridges, Shamet, and Robinson.
Robinson coming off a stupendous performance the last game. 12 points, 15 bounds.
Knicks by 9, just over halfway through the opening quarter, and a steal right away off the bench for Robinson. And then a turnover, tipped out of bounds.
Got an assist from the captain.
Not bad. He's averaging 6 a game after all.
Zaire running up, destroying our table over here, folks.
I said turnover, but this will stay with the Knicks. You kind of lose composure when the ball comes right at you, Clyde. So
you do.
You can forgive me for that one.
But being a former player helped me, Ty. I didn't panic. I wasn't looking at bailouts.
Thank goodness we got a Hall of Famer on the crew. Mikal Bridges, meanwhile, helps the Knicks double up his former team. Nolan Traore, a rookie from France, has checked in, one of the 5 first-rounders this year. Zaire Williams' first shot is very short.
And again, these guys not getting any rebounds after the missed shots.
Now Brunson missed a 3, tip slam Robinson.
Robinson, a quantum leap, much to the light of the crowd at the Garden.
Claxton trying to break down Robinson, and he will draw the foul.
Claxton showing some dexterity, folks. Remember before, he went about 80 feet off a steal. Let's take a look at Robinson. We mentioned the 14 bounds the last game, 8 on the offense. He's averaging about 4 offensive bounds. Rising and surprising them with the ferocious stuff.
That replay is brought to you by Motorola Razr.
The Raging Cajun is finding his game.
He had a couple alley-oops directly from Brunson with no rim involved on Monday. And Mike Brown was asked about that today. It reminded us of during the preseason, before he had really coached Mitchell Robinson, he said he can be one of the best vertical lob threats in the NBA. So he's a huge fan of Robinson, even beyond the block shots and the offensive rebound.
Saw Cam Thomas check in for the Nets. He can be prolific, but he's been very injury prone. So they're looking for some offense, and he can provide it.
He's one of just 2 Nets ever to have multiple 40-point games against the Knicks. The other, of course, Bernard King. So both of those 40-point efforts from Thomas resulted in net losses. In the corner for Yabusele, too strong. Robinson fired the rebound off of Traore, but apparently he stepped out of bounds first.
Yeah, but you like the effort. That action right in front of the Knicks bench. Robinson still under load. Look at the foul right there by Traore. He was clinging to the guy's jersey. Look at that. Should be a foul. Then he shoves him.
Yeah, I think if they challenge that, you might get a proximate foul ruling, but still early. Knicks by 11. Thomas able to go to the backcourt off the Shamet deflection.
Thomas infinite range, folks, with the jumper.
Threw it up. Sharp came back down with it. Surrounded by Knicks bigs, and he slips it through anyway. Nifty finish from Day'Ron Sharp, the 5th-year big out of UNC.
And his forte is physicality, hustle, and muscle. You saw at that time underneath. He's averaging 7 points a game.
Yeah, 5 offensive rebounds here in November. As Brunson got blocked from behind by Williams. He can be a pesky defender at 6'9". On the other end, Williams banks it through.
And that show you defense can be your best offense. Previously, Zaire ran over the scorer's table. Then he blocked a shot on Brunson and wheeling and dealing off the glass now to give the Nets some momentum.
24-17. Knicks with a hot start. Still in front by 7 late first quarter.
What does it mean to be ready in your own words?
I think your preparation makes you more ready for the moment. Allows you to think quicker, react quicker. So I think it's all about your preparation, makes you ready.
How do you keep your body feeling fresh through a long season?
Getting rest, honestly, eating right. I feel like all the massages, ice tub, hot tub, all that's great, but eating right, sleeping, that's number 1 right there.
Big time, best time, all the time. Come seek the Royal Caribbean.
Right now at Papa John's, create your own pizza for only $9.99. On original, thin, or New York-style crust, all $9.99. Usually a pizza with no artificial flavors, colors, or additives costs more. But Papa John's knows you deserve better. Order now.
Hey, New York, you're used to getting everything ASAP. Guess what? With the Caesar Sportsbook app, you can place your bets in just a few taps. It's made with New Yorkers in mind. It's direct, it's no nonsense, it's your calling to join all the sports betting action. Because Caesar Sportsbook was made for fans who don't want to miss a single play. Don't just spectate, participate with Caesar Sportsbook, official sports betting partner of the New York Knicks.
Get exclusive offers on select new Volvo models. Contact your Volvo retailer to learn more.
With the Caesar Sportsbook app, you can place your bets in just a few taps. It's made with New Yorkers in mind. It's direct, it's no nonsense, and it's the best way to join in on all the sports betting action.
Knicks fans, stay ready for game day with official Knicks threads. Scan the QR code to shop City, Statement, Association, and Icon jerseys today and rep your squad. This is the City Edition court they're using tonight, but the Knicks are in the Association white uniforms. They're 16 and 12 when they wear these.
Another vociferous crowd here at the world's most famous arena.
And all the sounds tonight have been positive as Deuce McBride checks into the game for the first time with Brunson, Shamet, Anunoby, and Robinson.
Yeah, Deuce struggled the previous game. 1 for 8 from the field, 1 of 4 from behind the arc.
Missed his first 7, got the last one. Brunson's wide open, and he nails the 3.
Captain right in front of the Knicks bench. Again, a good dishing and switching.
He missed his first 2 triples, but now he's got a game-high 9 points. Here's Williams. Marked by McBride. Shamet broke up the dribble handoff.
Careless pass by Williams.
2-on-2 the other way. Brunson breaking down the rookie Traore and a left-hand finish.
Shaking and baking. Yeah, much to the delight of the crowd.
One of the best first quarter scorers in the NBA has 11 points already. Thomas couldn't hit the 3.
Captain moving and grooving. Look at the pep in his step.
Steps into a 3-pointer. Rebound Porter.
Porter averages 7 bounds to go with the 25 points. 3 assists.
Knicks led by as many as 13 earlier. It's back up to 12 now. Shamet fights around the screen, and Porter left the 3-pointer short.
You see the Nets, all of their shots are 3 balls, folks. With Claxton out of the game, everything is from behind the arc.
See Brunson quickly looking up court, trying to push the pace more, perhaps, like we saw so much of earlier in the year. Nolan Traore, he's going to get hit with a personal foul.
Look at the Shamet allowing Brunson to shake and bake and wheel and deal off the glass. So he's been thrilling up with it, with his antics. So Mike Brown, folks, his system, he wanted more threes, quicker pace, ball movement. So we're seeing that tonight from the Knicks.
It takes 43 pointers a game, and Robinson thought he got fouled by Danny Young.
A belated call.
Danny Wolf, rather. They will get Wolf, the rookie out of Michigan, for his first personal.
Yeah, he was mauling Robinson. That's why Robinson had to try to tip it in with his left hand. But it was well after that foul. But at least he got it right. Robinson at a place he's not comfortable. He's at the line.
The saga continues, Clyde. He started 6 of 28. Then he made 10 in a row. But since then, he's 3 for 13.
But I like his body language. He's no longer petrified to be there. He's showing some confidence.
It's something you hear from Jalen Brunson a lot. These players get confidence because of how hard they work. They don't feel pressure in the big moments. They just trust the work they've put in. And Mitchell Robinson, you can tell he's getting more confident because of the long hours taking all these free throws.
You can see he's going to have to do his distinction of having more rebounds than points, maybe for his career.
There's a good-looking foul shot. Knicks back up by 13. Final 2 minutes opening quarter. Traore getting a lot more playing time lately after plenty of G League time in the first 2 months. Now Sharp trying to get around Robinson. 5 to shoot.
Good D by the Knicks.
Williams threw it out of bounds off of Brunson's leg. Just 1.7 to shoot.
You see the Knicks keeping the man in front of them, not looking for help, moving their feet, seeing the ball, seeing their man. Tenacious D now by the Knicks.
Off the inbound, Thomas connects. What a shot at the end of the horn, right from the corner.
We mentioned the infinite range by this guy, man. He can fill it up.
Now McBride off the dribble, steps back on Traore and connects.
Deuce has augmented his game, stopping and popping, shooting off the bounce now.
Thomas again. Obviously known for his scoring, but he had a career-high 10 assists last weekend against the Bulls. Off the hesitation, Traore's floater was blocked by Robinson.
No new shot clock. The ball did not hit the rim.
Tough step back. Thomas can't hit this one, and Robinson gets the rebound.
Mitch omnipresent again on the glass. I like Williams. He's hounding Brunson, trying to put some chilling on him.
Got that length and quickness. Anunoby spin cycle. Somehow got it out to Shamet. Tip to Brunson. They'll take Thomas off the dribble. His spin move leads to a wide open Shamet 3. Got it!
Yeah, they're moving and grooving nicely now.
Largest lead for the Knicks. They're up 15. Now Wolf got rejected by Robinson.
Brunson in a hurry.
Full head of steam. Finds Shamet for another three. Back-to-back three-pointers for Landry Shamet off Jalen Brunson dimes.
The Knicks undulating, devastating now. Shamet 2 consecutive three balls.
He had been 3 out of 13 since missing 25 games with that injured shoulder. Good to see the three-point shot back in rhythm.
Nice to see the Knicks running and gunning like this, man. The cohesion, the energy, the synergy, everything going for them in the first quarter.
I'll get a head start on Brunson's second quarter rest.
Captain and prolific as he goes to the bench.
Now talk about setting the tone, Clyde. 11 points, 3 assists. Only made 1 3-pointer, but that's all he needed to establish what is right now an 18-point Knick lead. Thomas, a wild shot at the end of the quarter. And the Knicks, after scoring just 22 points in the opening frame on Monday, put 38 on the board against Brooklyn. And maybe just as encouraging, they only give up 20 points.
Dramatic, emphatic play by these Knicks, much to the delight of a capacity crowd at the world's most famous arena.
They finished the quarter on a 14-3 run. Brunson leading the way with 11. And Karl Anthony Towns at 7 points in the first 4 minutes. Knicks by 18. End of the first.
Great take, everyone. It really is a vacation about now.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, somewhere warm, adventurous. A lot of fun activities for the kids.
Something more relaxing too.
Something different, unique, and something we haven't seen before.
Where are we going?
Experience Abu Dhabi.
Babe, you're really strong.
Yeah.
So New York Lottery's new extra multiplier ticket multiplies your winnings up to 100 times.
I won.
What are you gonna do with all those Benjamins? For Ben?
Oh. Great form, Benjamin. Benjamin, tip.
Play New York Lottery's extra multiplier scratch-off games for chances to multiply your Benjamins between 10 and 100 times. Prizes up to $3 million.
I can't wait to spend each and every one of you.
Kia Sportage Turbo Hybrid. Kia, movement that inspires.
Dunkin's Feed Golden Hash Browns. Dunkin's $5 meal deal. A deal for everyone.
Bill Pito back for a look at tonight's odds provided by FanDuel Sportsbook. Live bets and same-game parlays for tonight's game are available now on FanDuel. After the first quarter, Knicks lead the Nets 38-20. Time now for quarter number 2.
Thanks very much, Bill. Knicks basketball is presented by Chase. And this Knicks team looking a bit more familiar tonight. Clyde Frazier, last 11 games on defense, they've allowed 30 points a game in the first quarter. Opponent shooting over 50%, but quite the opposite for this Brooklyn Nets team tonight.
Yeah, the Nets into this game, they lost their last 2 games. They've been giving up 125 points per game. So it's continuing here tonight. Their Swiss cheese defense.
Knicks start the quarter with McBride, Hart, Shamet, Anunoby, and Towns, who commits his first foul on a Cam Thomas drive.
Thomas shrewd and clever. You saw that 3-ball in the corner that he shot. He has the infinite range. Also can wheel and deal off the bounce. He's at the line for 2. He's just been injury prone, Ty. Can't stay healthy.
It's his 5th year with Brooklyn. It could be his last. He signed a 1-year deal in the offseason, so an unrestricted free agent next year. As he gets the first. Knicks fans, join us for Pride Night, presented by Delta on Tuesday, January 27th, when the Knicks take on the Kings at 7:30 p.m. Scan the QR code or head to Knicks.com to get tickets.
Yeah, I used to always be confused by that, Ty. I always thought they were saying Clyde night.
I might as well be. We can celebrate you too, my friend. A whistle and a foul away from the ball as Josh Hart went down. And it's going to be, I believe, another foul on Danny Wolf, which would be a second.
It was interesting how Hart described the team's play. He said, our play has been embarrassing, and our defense has been abysmal. He was sounding like me.
Someone came up to you today, Clyde. It was a fan so happy to meet you, and the person they were with said, she's percolating right now.
The Knicks are percolating. How about that? That's a good sign for them.
Josh Hart for three off the dribble. That's his first three-pointer, and the Knicks are out to a 19-point lead.
And remember, the Nets just on the perimeter, nothing in the. What has happened to Claxton? He started out auspiciously, and he's on the bench.
And now a steal for Shamet. Anunoby right to the rack.
Speaking of embarrassing, the Nets are getting embarrassed now by the rampaging Knicks.
Knicks have forced 4 turnovers. It's led to 8 points. None more emphatic than those last 2 from OG Anunoby as Jordi Fernandez needs a timeout. Knicks in control.
This is the team we saw in December. And that was a December to remember. The Knicks were 11-3. They were thriving. We were talking about maybe 3 or 4 Knicks on the All-Star team. So they've got back their swag now.
Nissan trucks and SUVs are built for next-level adventure. Too much gear? Dirt? Rock? Sand? Get in a Nissan and feel unstoppable. Get 0% APR on select SUVs for well-qualified buyers.
It a whole complicated thing? Nah, it's easy.
Switch to T-Mobile and unlock savings that are built to last. With T-Mobile's Better Value Plan, you can save over $1,000 a year versus Verizon and AT&T. Save on streaming, satellite, and more benefits that they leave out.
I get all the VIP perks. Don't mind if I do.
For a limited time, get our most value pack plan ever. Plus, switch right now and we'll even pay off your old phone up to $800.
Stay chillin', just switching.
Game, bro. Game.
Yeah.
Play for the last Ultra?
Well, let's go.
Wait a second. For the play.
Michelob Ultra. Superior light beer.
The 3 for Me, only at Chili's, serves up the Big QP for just $10.99. And that's 85% more beef than some quarter-pound burger. Yeah, hey, fast food, this is how you value meal. This Chili's 3 for Me is the best $10.99 you can eat.
Nissan trucks and SUVs are built for next-level adventure. Too much gear? Dirt? Rock? Sand? Get in a Nissan and feel unstoppable. Now get up to 5,000 customer cash on select new models.
It's time to get back in the game, and Dunkin' has you covered. From late nights to early mornings, America runs on Dunkin'.
Knicks on a roll, up 21. Time now for our trivia question brought to you by Cadillac. Mikal Bridges is one of 4 players who scored 40 points for both the Knicks and the Nets. Who are the other 3? Post your answer to hashtag Cadillac Trivia.
Well, you gave us one time. They were listening. You gave us one of the guys.
It's a fun little bonus. If you tuned in right from the opening tip, yes, you'll have one of those answers as Sharp powers his way inside. I was stunned the other night. It was a rare trivia question where you were the answer and your fellow Hall of Famer Mike Breen did not guess you as the answer.
Yeah, you went with Ewing. Patrick.
Consecutive All-Star starts. Very reasonable guess, by the way. McBride off the dribble. Rebound Thomas. This is close to the biggest lead the Knicks have had in a game since December 9th at Toronto when they were up by 24.
But this game reminded me of the last time the Nets were here. They were embarrassing. And it continues. Another ignominious performance at the Garden. Right in front of the Knicks bench this time. So the Knicks will have it there.
Yeah, last time the Nets were here, the Knicks beat them by 36 points.
This guy honed his skills on the Brown.
That's right.
Yeah.
Inbound to Anunoby. He actually gave him his first shot in the NBA as Shamet pulls up and misses the foul line jumper, but an offensive rebound for Anunoby.
Yeah, that's when they were with Sacramento. Oh, Williams in the passing lane.
Striding ahead of Hart, and he'll bank it in.
Zaire has been hustling, doing a good job.
There was a story on ESPN.com from Brian Windhorst about their connection as we'll get an offensive foul on Josh Hart. It was actually back in 2009 when Brown was coaching the Cavs. He gave Fernandez an internship, and Jordi Fernandez worked his way up to what is now his first head coaching job. And in year 2, he is doing a sensational job. The Nets, of course, in transition, looking toward the draft lottery, but they play hard, it would seem, almost every night.
Yep, except tonight their D has been very porous.
It was Sunday against Chicago that Fernandez made a statement by starting the second half with only one of his regular starters, Nick Claxton. He said he wanted to get a response out of his team. They still lost the game, but he's the kind of young coach willing to make those moves.
He's doing that tonight. Took Claxton out.
That's right, and another turnover for the Nets. McBride draws the foul, and he'll get free throws. He can't believe he missed it.
Yeah, so he's resting his stars again. Let's take a look at the swarming, suffocating Knick defense. So Deuce swooping, not hooping, but he'll go to the line for 2.
You're right, Clyde. It's 5 guys on the floor right now for the Nets, all off the bench. Williams, Traore, Thomas, Sharp, and Wolf.
Yep.
See Deuce McBride is a prolific three-point shooter.
So Claxton was off to a good start. So was Porter. Dimon, is that his name, the Russian player?
Yep, Yegor Dillman.
Yeah, he made a couple of threes, but they are relegated to the bench now.
And Porter sat after 10 minutes, missing 5 of his first 6 shots. McBride missed the second. Fernandez said after pulling this move recently, it has to be a complete effort for 48 minutes. See how the Nets respond. Knicks up 18. Early second quarter. Wolf steps back on Towns. On rebound, McBride.
The Nets, like the Knicks, felt the wrath of the Suns. Their last game in Brooklyn.
Phoenix won here on Saturday. They went to Brooklyn and won on Monday.
What about they went to Philly and beat Philly?
They did.
The Suns, man, are playing some ball.
It's another young coach making a name for himself. Jordan Ott, first year with the Suns, as Towns took it to the rack but got blocked by Sharp. Traore, the rookie, on the move to his fellow first-year player, but Wolf missed it.
Wolf's got to come away with a foul or both on that play, man.
McBride walks into a 3. Rebound, tipped by Bridges, and Towns has it.
Towns getting involved again.
Took a while for that call to come. Traore knew he was in trouble, so he commits the foul.
And that's no more fouls to give. So we got a vacillating pace. Right here, you see Bridges doing a good job keeping the ball away from Sharp. And there's the mauling by the Nets on Towns. He had the mismatch. He knew it. Sharp trying to come over, but belated attempt. So the Knicks will have it right in front of Celebrity Row.
That's Traore's 3rd foul.
Now Claxton is back.
And he gets the Karl Anthony Towns assignment.
And Porter.
Off the jab step. Towns left it short. Offensive rebound, Robinson.
Balls just seem to gravitate to Robinson.
Towns for 3. He's made both of his first 2 3-pointers.
And using his second opportunities, teams are successful. So a good job by Robinson bounding, giving him the second opportunity.
And 3-point shots coming around, Clyde. He's 9 for his last 19. Claxton in the paint. Towns avoids fouling him. Sharp a rare 3-pointer. Too strong.
Not his forte. Sharp more of a 2-point guy.
He's 6 of 29 for the year now from beyond the arc. Bridges working on Traore, who's got 3 fouls. He tries the turnaround, and Claxton cleans it up.
Again, Claxton dexterity, bringing it up.
Nolan Traore, driving kick. Another try for Sharp. Another miss.
There's a reason he's open, folks.
That last shot from Sharp was actually ruled a 2 as Bridges looks around and realizes he's the best option. Timeout, Jordi Fernandez. Bridges had 7 points on Monday, already up to 6 tonight against his old team. And the Knicks have a 23-point lead.
Yeah, defense has been suffocating. The offense has been lethal. Everyone showing the Midas touch for the Knicks.
Waiting for the break of day. Wanting just to stay away.
This is a meal. Saucy chicken Roma. Stacked spicy steak for just $7.99 each? Let's Asiago. Asiago bagel stacks are back. It just smells good at Panera.
Traction that counts. Warmth on demand. Comfort that expands. Welcome to the Genesis GV70 and GV80.
Lease the GV70 for $349 or GV80 for $399 per month. Exclusively at your tri-state Genesis retailers.
Brunson puts up a three. Bang! Bang! Welcome to New Jersey Devils hockey. Bertha scores! The Devils' first shot of the night. The center pass, they score! Hamilton slides and they score! Yes, for Pratt. Keep shooting.
My name is Eric. I'm a lifelong Knicks fan. I'm an MTA conductor. I always wear my Knicks hat everywhere I go, always represent. I even got on my Knicks work gloves. I work the A-line right through Madison Square Garden. Bringing Knicks fans to the game is just something magical. When I know it's game night, I'm real hyped. I can't wait to get my Knicks gear and head back to the Garden, the best place in the world. Next stop is 175th Street. Let's go Knicks!
Just to start, the Knicks were hoping for a 23-point lead nearing the midway point of the second quarter. Register for our Fan First program for an opportunity to receive early access to tickets, special offers, and more. Scan the QR code or head to Knicks.com/fanfirst to register now. It is Jalen Brunson with the game-high 11, even though he hasn't come back into the game so far in the second quarter. He got 10 points from Karl Anthony Towns, 7 from Josh Hart, and 6 apiece from Bridges and Shaman.
And you've got an energized Knicks team tonight. Everyone playing with gusto, especially their defense. That has been their best offense.
We've seen with a lot of teams across the NBA, when you see shots go in, that just intensifies your defensive effort. And the Knicks are 6 of 11 from downtown, but you can tell it's more than just that. They wanted to come out with a strong defensive intensity. Clowney back into the game. He takes 6.5 three-pointers a night, even though he's shooting just 32%.
Last time he saw the Knicks, he had a career high, 31 points. Can't get on the books tonight, though.
You're right, though. Shots were dropping that night in November, and Anunoby stepped on the sideline.
Court 50 feet wide, not wide enough for OG.
That's top 5 Clydeism for sure.
Right in front of the Knicks bench as well. They had a good look at it.
Their lottery pick, Yegor Diomin, back into the game, wearing the number that he was selected in this summer's draft. Drake Powell back rim to 3. McBride, tough off the dribble 3. Unless you're Deuce McBride right now, he's hitting everything. That's his first 3-point attempt. And a 9-0 Knicks run. Whistle and a foul against the Knicks.
Knicks have not been fouling much tonight, moving their feet, seeing the ball, seeing their man. Excellent communication thus far. So this will be a non-shooting foul. The Nets have it adjacent to their bench.
Mikal Bridges picks up his first.
There's a Nick brain trust right there. Looking pretty good right now.
Well, Mike Brown had some recent comments about the defense that gave you some hope that it was turning a corner. He said despite the loss on Saturday, their defensive effort against Phoenix was the best he'd seen in a long time. And they held the Suns to just 106 points, but they were held to only 99.
For the second consecutive time, Tyler, they haven't scored 100 points.
Brunson speeds inside, and looked like he shuffled the pivot foot. The Knicks will turn it over for the 5th time.
Claxton doing a good job hounding Brunson. Brunson could not elude him. 2 consecutive turnovers Previously, OG was standing on the sideline, and now the captain.
But you're right about the offense, Clyde. That's maybe been the most perplexing part of this current slide. They scored at least 100 points in every game all the way through December. But then 4 times this month, they've been held under the century mark as Clowney banks it home around Anunoby.
Clowney gets his first hoop of the evening. You better stop clowning around.
He only takes 4 2-point shots a game. Mostly does his work from 3.
He's a young guy, too. Not very...
Yeah, just his 3rd year out of Alabama. What a pass from Bridges to Brunson, but he can't cash in. Robinson can, though.
Robinson, the quantum leap. Yeah, what about the fingertip control there?
And getting physical inside with Nick Claxton. Those 2 guys are the longest tenured players for their respective teams. Yeoman misfires.
And Nets getting some second opportunities now. Clowney doing a good job.
Powell off the catch. Very short.
You can see that some of the Nets aiming their shots and not showing a lot of confidence.
That one's off Porter.
Let's take a look at the grandeur splendor of Mitch Robinson on the offense. There is the quantum leap. Nice soft touch for the big fella.
So that concentration on his face as he angled it in. He had a couple of tip-ins on Monday, part of that first half double-double.
Most of his shots inside are ferocious. With the tomahawk stuff, he likes to try to tear the basket down. Someone tore down the basket last night.
I didn't see that.
Yeah, in the pregame, somebody broke one of the baskets.
Oh, there was that long delay in Houston, right?
Yeah, it's in the Houston game.
Spurs Rockets, yeah. I think it was a 22-minute delay before they got going. Brunson in the lane. Anunoby finds Bridges, catch and shoot 3. No. But that's the kind of ball movement the Knicks made a hallmark in the first half of the season.
Yeah, it's contagious now.
Yeoman picked up his dribble, fired it too hot to handle for Porter. And the Knicks forced the 6th Brooklyn turnover.
That play indicative of the Nets play here. Stumbling, bumbling, inept, incoherent right now.
26-point Knick lead. Remember Monday, that was their first and they hope only wire-to-wire defeat of the year. The game was tied at 2, but the Mavericks led the rest of the way. Baseline leaner for Bridges won't fall.
Claxton does a good job contesting that time on Bridges.
Now Powell, he's had 2 good games against the Knicks in his rookie year. 15 points and 3 assists in both of them. Now Porter off the Claxton dribble handoff. Stripped by Towns. Came loose to Brunson.
Porter dribble right into the double team along the baseline.
Hard on the baseline drive. Up top for Towns. Trying to get past Porter, and they will whistle an offensive foul on Karl-Anthony Towns.
I mentioned almost 3 offensive fouls a game on Towns. Using that elbow, he likes to push off. So
let's see.
Good defense by Porter. See right there, the shove at the last moment.
I saw Claxton pantomiming the move just off to the left. Those are tough, Clyde, because Porter initiates the contact, so it's almost a reaction from Towns to hook with the offhand, but that's much more noticeable than the initial touch by Porter. And Towns does lead the league in offensive fouls as Powell gets on the board.
Yeah, the 15-footer by Powell. The Nets can ill afford to trade hoops, but they can't get stops.
Bridges, quick trigger, hits a 3. Mikal Bridges with his first 3 ball. He's got 9 points. Bank shot wouldn't go for Claxton.
And Towns a good D that time, not fouling.
Nets have been held to just 10 points in the quarter. Towns bumpers down the lane, and they got him again. On the other side with the other hand, he commits the same offensive foul, and now he's got 3 personals.
And he gets the worst of it. Watch what happens to Towns, folks. He's going to collapse on his back. After all of this, they add insult to injury. Watch this. Woo.
Oh.
Yeah, he took a shot.
Painful fall.
And you're the culprit.
Well, it's a shame. He played so well. 10 points, 3 rebounds, 2 assists.
And 2 consecutive offensive fouls.
There was a moment on Monday when the Knicks started to get rolling, and he committed that flagrant foul on a three-point shot as Powell took Robinson to the rim, and he'll wind up at the free throw line after crashing over a camera operator.
I mentioned the last time Powell was at the free throw line with a jumper. So this time moving and grooving nicely to get back to the line to shoot two.
Yeah, Powell is an example of how the Nets are looking toward the future more than perhaps they were in the first 2 months of the season. He started 5 of the last 6 games now after not getting a ton of playing time early.
He's the cousin of Hubert Davis, played for Hubert at North Carolina. So a big family there of athletes down there. 43-inch vertical.
Wow. Yeah, they love his athleticism to a potential. Powell, the 22nd overall pick out of North Carolina. He's from Durham.
Yeah, only 20 years of age.
And I suppose that was the thinking with the Nets not trading any of those 5 first-round picks. They used all of them, and whether it's a project or maybe guys ready to contribute right now, they're hoping one of those can hit and become a franchise player.
Yeah, averaging 6 points, has 4 down.
So with the 2 free throws, it's still a 25-point Knick lead. Remember, the Knicks were held to just 47 points in the first half on Monday. Anunoby with some power missed the shot, and Claxton cleans it up.
Again, Claxton bringing the ball up the court.
And they will call the foul on Robinson.
Sexton's a southpaw. That time using the right hand to bring the ball up.
And now both Knicks bigs have 3 personal fouls.
Watch Claxton. He has a couple of blocks tonight. Averaging 1 per game, 12 points, 8 rebounds, 4 assists. 4 assists leads the club, folks.
Yeah, we mentioned it earlier that the Nets have the most points in the league off dribble handoffs. That is something the Knicks do quite a bit as well, but there really is a steady diet of it from the Nets. Stay tuned at the end of the half with a halftime report sponsored by Verizon. Bill Pito, Wally Zerbiak in studio. First half highlights and the award-winning Audi MSG 150.
Claxton played collegiately at the University of Georgia.
By the way, Clyde, they're going to show that broken backboard from Spurs Rockets during the MSG 150. So.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we haven't seen one of those in a long time.
And make sure you stay tuned in. Brunson posting up Powell. They'll call that foul before the shot, so no 3-point play.
And no shot. The Nets are not in the penalty, but they have no more fouls to give now.
They brought in Gershon Yabusele with Robinson and Towns in a bit of foul trouble. You see Jordi Fernandez, 42 years old, from Spain.
Chronologically.
Chronologically?
42. This stuff will put some age on you.
Oh, yeah. Still one of the younger coaches in the NBA.
Right. Feel like we're in the president, man. Where is he?
Brunson off the catch. Back rim the 3 as we approach the final minute of the first half.
It's a good one for the Knicks. This is the way they wanted to come out in devastating fashion.
And even with that missed 3, they're 8 out of 16 from downtown. During this 4-game losing streak, they've shot below 30%. There's Porter from distance. He's 2 of 5 from 3.
Mention the Nets, no fouls to give now.
Called for a Yabusele screen, but 2 Nets come at him.
Yabusele
showing off the footwork and a nice touch around the rim.
He's been mentioned in numerous trade rumors.
Bridges almost stole the rebound. Porter splits a double team, banked it in and one. Athletic finish from Michael Porter Jr.
And before that, remember, he was on the left elbow with the 3-ball was Porter. We featured him as the top of the show with his offensive prowess, averaging 25 points, 7 rebounds, 3 assists, and at 6'11", elusive and abusive as he shoots 1 as well.
They really have an uphill battle of Porter's not scoring. Half of their 12 wins have come when he gets at least 30. The Knicks have held him to 9 points in the opening half.
And 6 of those just happened, Todd.
And Anunoby left alone, couldn't finish. Yeoman's got plenty of time. Back to a 21-point game. Knicks have led by as many as 27. Powell for three, whistle and a foul on Claxton, and that's the 5th foul in the quarter against Brooklyn. That should send Brunson to the free throw line on the other end. Brunson talking with the Nets bench, convincing them that that was the correct call. Fernandez probably saw a replay and disagrees.
Yeah, the captain is going to the line. He's up there. He's attempting maybe 6 or 7 free throws a game as well, like Towns.
And shooting 85%. Now Brunson, he just passed Ray Williams for 20th on the all-time scoring list. He's got Kenny Sears and Dave DeBusschere coming up next.
Yep. He's making a quantum leap. Oh, misfired on that one.
Brunson 11 points, but all of them coming in the first quarter.
He was the catalyst for this auspicious start by the Knicks. Prolific. He was pushing the ball, moving, grooving, getting to the line, making the threes. It became contagious.
Yeah, Monday wasn't his most efficient game, but his first night back from the injury.
Yeah, he showed a lot of rust, especially on the defense.
You figured tonight would be a better, more consistent effort, and that's been the case so far.
Leading by example tonight after calling that team meeting.
Gets both foul shots, so a 22-point Knick lead. They'll pick up full court. Porter's got just 1 second left. Off balance heave would not go, and it might not have counted anyway. Just the response that this fan base and this team was hoping for. Halfway home and a phenomenal start for the Knicks. They're up 60-38, and it's their best defensive first half of the year. Got to go all the way back to that Celtics game and when the 8 lead on Brooklyn.
Freedom, that's a cheap thing. Sacrificing facial hair, exfoliating, treating gravity like a suggestion, sweating your tail off, freezing your tail off, saving another American's tail, all Jeep things. Making a Jeep vehicle for only people like him, not a Jeep thing. So we're bringing you more Jeep things this year, because Jeep things should be everyone's thing.
More Jeep things in 2026. Now choose from reduced MSRPs, package discounts, or added value on some of our most popular 2026 models. See your dealer for details.
When I've heard that fantasy football leagues are making last place teams spend 24 hours at their restaurants, they wanted to help. So they're launching bottomless pancakes for everyone.
Just like you helped everyone's fantasy team this season?
Get free bottomless pancakes with select breakfast combos, only at IHOP.
So we actually known for the spice drum. Yeah, man, this is a local thing, man.
There's way more stars in this section. That's the problem.
The Winter Blue sale is now on. Visit sandals.com today.
A man who works hard sweats hard. Old Spice rider fights sweat, so coach thought I was slacking. So I trained with my Old Spice, and I became the best player ever. Sometimes a man must overcome sweat.
Shake it time and ring it, go and get yourself a whistle and blow.
New Balance, we got now.
Room for 6 full-size passions. The Lexus TX, 3-row luxury. A car that doesn't elevate everyone's experience is a car that stops short of amazing. This day.
Welcome, everyone, to the Verizon Halftime Report. An excellent first half for the Knicks. They were up 38-20 after the first quarter, and the lead is 60-38 now at the half. Great to have you with us from our Lexus Gameside studio. Bill Pito, along with Wally Zerbiak. So 38 points allowed in a half. That's the Knicks' best defensive half they've had all season long.
Defense and rebounding. The Knicks getting back to it in that first half. 28-16 on the boards, finishing great defensive possessions with stops. That was one of their best halves of this season so far.
They needed it. Knicks got off to a great start, and they have not looked back. Jalen Brunson and Cat both in double figures. Let's begin, Wally, with Brunson, who had 12 points in the first half.
Yeah, Jalen looks good. That first game back off the injury, sometimes you're a little off kilter. Didn't have a great performance on Monday for him. Today, he looked in control, got the team off to a really good start. I thought he made a concerted effort to kind of slow the pace down a little bit in that first quarter and say, guys, let's get our sets set. Let's get our defense set. And then Karl Anthony Towns, he had a nice dominant half. Obviously, he has a big advantage with his height over this thinner Brooklyn Nets team up front, and Towns knocking down those triples. When those things start to go, it becomes unguardable, and he is eating tonight. The big man is eating.
Cat in 2 games against the Nets. First game, 28 points. Second game, 37. He's got 10 in the first half. First half summary presented by Hyundai. You see the numbers. We note the rebounding, as Wally touched on, and the fast break points, which was so much of a problem against Dallas in the Knicks' favor after the first 2 quarters. We have the MSG 150 coming up. A bent rim last night. Got to get the leveling thing out.
Would you bend it, dunking?
Yeah, I have hops. You didn't know about my hops. I bent the rim. No, I didn't. We'll show you what we're talking about coming up.
The Knicks Halftime Show is presented by Verizon.
I'm Josh Johnson, and I've played for 14 different teams. But I'm switching to Straight Talk. For good. They've got free 5G phones for new and existing customers. Get it at straighttalk.com and Walmart.
Whatever the moment, make it a cocktail. On the rocks, bartender created cocktails.
Mr. Claus, you forgot this.
Oh. It's never too late for an unforgettable gift.
Rerouting to Timmy's house.
Hurry into the Mercedes-Benz Holiday Love Celebration now.
Workday over. Now it's
thrill time.
And FanDuel Casino's new exclusive game, Huff and Puff Money Mansion, is packed with them. With mega hats bringing mega mayhem, paintbrush winds running wild, and maybe even a visit from you-know-who. Thrill time is Huff and Puff Money Mansion time. New players get 500 bonus spins plus up to $1,000 back in casino bonus.
My name is Christopher. I'm a father and a competitive triathlete. This is the story of how I got my life back at HSS. I injured my knee and broke 2 bones in my spine. The local orthopedist told me it would require a full knee replacement and that I would not be running anymore. When I went to HSS, I learned I didn't need a knee replacement, and my doctors were able to create a minimally invasive treatment plan to get me back to running. Going to HSS was the best choice I ever made.
Welcome back, everyone, with the Knicks up 60-38 at the half. From game nights at the Garden to winter days in the city, the Knicks New York or Nowhere winter collection is made for wherever New York takes you. Scan the QR code or head to Knicks.com/shop to check out the latest release today. And here we go with the Audi MSG 150, the fastest 150 seconds in the National Basketball Association. Charlotte playing better of late. They just finished up a road trip 3-2 tonight against the Cavs. Jarrett Allen, the rejection. And then Allen finishes up with the alley-oop. Second quarter, Donovan Mitchell for 3. He had 17 points in the first half. Right now in the third quarter, 64-47 Cavs. Celtics hosting the Pacers, who are 10-34. Peyton Pritchard. Celtics by 10 after 1 quarter. Second quarter, Sam Hauser. He's been on fire from 3 all year. Celtics up at the half, 66-46. Last night, a developing situation in San Antonio. Stephon Castle, the Spurs, in warm-ups. Hangs on the rim. Right there, we have a bent rim. The eye test tells us it's crooked. The bubble and the level, gotta know about that. Confirms it. Kevin Durant and everyone else waited 20 minutes while the rim was fixed. They got things going. Victor Wembanyama double-double. Rim was okay after that. Alperen Sengun, the baby hook. He was 1 assist short of a triple-double. And the Rockets beat the Spurs last night, 111-106. Also last night, the Raptors at Golden State. The Warriors will be without Jimmy Butler. He tore his ACL the other night. He's out for the year. Emmanuel Quickley, the former Knick, one of the better games he's ever had. He tied a career high with 40 points. Also had 10 assists. And the Raptors, who are a factor right now in the Eastern Conference, they rolled over the Warriors 145-127 was the final last night. Hub International wants to know, are you ready for tomorrow? Rockets and Sixers and the Lakers and the Clippers. That was your Audi MSG 150. Back with more on the Verizon halftime report after this, with the Knicks up 68-38 at the half.
What is it you do?
Software development.
This guy's a ghost. He never leaves DNA. He always hits near the 101 freeway, and he's not working alone.
Ooh, I'm good at this.
Yeah.
He's been playing us the whole time.
What are the odds we pull this off?
50-50. Crime 101. Rated R.
Every day I walk onto that field, it's like coming home. Whether I'm training, on the road, or underneath those lights, I know I perform my best when I feel my best. That's why I love Vuori. The style, feel, and versatility help me find that perfect space between comfort and performance. I feel more balanced, more prepared, and ready to get back out there tomorrow and do it all over again.
The Colonel knew folks hated Mondays, so he made sure Tuesdays were finger-licking good with 8 pieces of juicy, crispy chicken or tenders for just $10. It's TGI Tuesday. $10, 8 pieces, one big deal. KFC $10 Tuesdays.
Love slots? The DraftKings Casino app's got you covered. They got tons of slots to choose from, like Cash Eruption, Cleopatra, plus new ones exclusive to DraftKings. All these options, I feel like a slot machine. Winner, winner, early bird dinner.
For a limited time, all players get a free chance at $50,000 in credits every day with Daily Rewards Rocket on DraftKings Casino. The crown is yours.
We hit the jackpot.
You mean we?
Experience the New York Philharmonic for one night only on January 25th at Radio City Music Hall, now the best sounding theater in the world. This will be the first concert to utilize Radio City's groundbreaking new audio system, Sphere Immersive Sound, led by world-renowned conductor Gustavo Dudamel. Get tickets now at Ticketmaster.com.
Tip-off already happened, but there is still time to get in on all the live NBA action. From straight bets to same-game parlays, it's all on FanDuel. Scan the QR code now and play your game.
Back for Line to Line, presented by FanDuel. Play your game. Knicks now favored by 23.5. They're up by the count of 80, or I should say 60-38 at the half. Two teams in the first half combined to score 98 points. Jalen Brunson in that first half with a game-high 12. Knicks looking good after 2 quarters of play. Thanks for watching the Verizon Halftime Report. The second half is coming up.
The Knicks Halftime Show is presented by Verizon.
Taxes is feeling unwelcome. Now Taxes is an open door to new TurboTax stores. Meet our experts. They do your taxes, so you can walk out with confidence. Now this is Taxes.
For current eligible GM lessees, get this exceptional lease offer on this 2025 Cadillac XT5. Visit your local Cadillac dealer today.
Knicks basketball is presented by Chase, getting you ready for halftime here, or the second half, of course. Knicks and the Nets. Knicks with a big lead, and it's time for the assistant coach interview. Rick Brunson here with me. What did you see in that first half that you had to see tonight?
A fight, resolve. I thought we did a good job with our energy defensively. We got back in transition. But no, we just want to fight and get better every day, and I thought I saw that in the first half.
All right, now you're up by 22. You have a big lead. What do you need to see now in the second half?
We got to play every quarter like it's 0-0. Continue to just, keep fighting, playing defense, and play for each other.
All right, well, good luck in the second half. And let's do Find Your Pace, presented by Experience Abu Dhabi. One thing to also point out, so the Knicks held the Nets to 38 points. That's back-to-back halves where they have held their opponent under 40. First half in Dallas against Dallas was not great. But these are two halves now that shows you this Knicks team can get it done defensively. Tyler?
That's a great point, Alan. Thank you. Especially the fast break defense as Yegor Dioman misses the opening shot of the half. Something Mike Brown said immediately after Monday's loss. He was frustrated they didn't have the fast break defense from the first half that they had right away, as Jalen Brunson is able to bank one in. He's got 14 points to lead all scores. Porter, a quick trigger three, misses short.
You'll be able to test the character and fortitude of the Nets this quarter, folks. See if they come out with fire and desire.
The Knicks have played a lot of young and hungry teams lately. We talked about Phoenix. Dallas had a lot of guys with things to prove as Brunson misses short. And you figured the Nets, who had lost 12 straight games to the Knicks, and with so many first-round draft picks and also journeymen who try to establish a more consistent NBA role, you figured they would come out equally urgent, but that has not been the case so far as Mikal Bridges gets called for his second foul.
Yeah, Porter, their top gun, averaging 25, only has 9. 6 of those came in a 15-second span before the end of the first half. So they contain him. The Nets will inbound now along the sideline. Look at Hart doing a good job denying the ball there.
Well, you heard Rick Brunson say that they want these guys playing like it's 0-0 the rest of the way.
Yep, that's the way the Nets are starting as well.
Claxton left it short, and Towns gets his 5th rebound.
Averaging 11 on the season is Towns.
He and Robinson both picked up 3 personal fouls late in the second quarter. See if he can get back into rhythm. 10 points.
He can shoot over Porter, but he never faced up. Now he does.
Oh, the right-hand push shot. Towns with 12.
They have no one to guard Towns. Last time he saw him, he had 37. So he could be headed that way again tonight if he gets hot.
His 3rd highest scoring output of the season as Porter rattles in a 3. Towns had 40 on December 23rd in Minnesota.
Porter probably was shocked when he was traded from Denver. Go from a championship team to one of the worst teams in the league. Trying to establish himself now.
Had a nice contract, though, and he was traded from Denver with a 2032 first-round pick for Cam Johnson, and there's a leader from Josh Hart. And who knows what the Nuggets will look like in 2032. That could be a high-value pick on the back 9 for Nikola Jokic. Clowney for 3. That's good.
That time, good dishing by the Nets as well. Can't outrun the ball on the defense. Clowney, 22 feet away in the corner.
And now a 22-point game about 3 minutes into the second half.
Nets showing some pride. Oh, they should have doubled Brunson there. Look how the ball is moving for the Knicks now.
He muscles Clowney out of the way for a right-hand stuff.
Yeah, I love it, when they're moving and grooving like that. Reminds me of when I played. Frazier and Bradley, the Busher.
All the way around the perimeter, then inside for the mismatch.
Yeah, just don't give it to Barnett. He's not passing.
Not this time from Clowney.
Tricky Dick.
Bridges hands to Hart. You see the transition offense for the Knicks working wonders. This is reminiscent of the early season Knicks offense, and it's a beautiful sight to see. With a 70-44 lead, they forced another Jordi Fernandez timeout.
Knicks averaging 28 assists. They should shatter that tonight. Towns huffing and stuffing, and OG slicing and dicing with his stuff. So the Nets being sliced up, so they need to talk.
Dunkin' Golden Hash Browns. Dunkin's $5 meal deal. A deal for everyone.
It's the NBA on Prime.
Thursday, NBA Rivals Week heats up. First, it's the showdown in the Lone Star State as the Warriors test their long range in Dallas against the Mavericks. Then, it's a battle in the City of Angels as the Lakers go across town to face the Clippers. Warriors, Mavericks, Lakers, Clippers. Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern, only on Prime.
Short on nothing, big on weekend. Only on Royal Caribbean.
The Kia Sportage Turbo Hybrid. Kia, movement that inspires.
With the Caesar Sportsbook app, you can place your bets in just a few taps. It's made with New Yorkers in mind. It's direct, it's no nonsense, and it's the best way to join in on all the sports betting action.
Knicks in control, up 70-44, most recently because of our Built Ford Tough Play presented by your local Ford store.
Look at this dazzling passing by the Knicks and the slamming and jamming by Towns. And then OG was hit with a splendid pass by Hart. The Nets had seen enough. They've talked it over and they bring it up.
How about that, Clyde? It's the first time since '96 the Knicks had a game that they trailed by 20 at the half. That was Monday, and then came back the very next game to lead by more than 20 at the half as Porter can't hit the step back. So yes, they're supposed to beat the Brooklyn Nets. They've defeated this team 12 times in a row, but so far it feels like a whole lot more than just picking on a middling team. It feels like a much needed response from the Knicks.
Yeah, after the team meeting I mentioned, those are very good to get to clear the air and stop the talk and come out and let your play do the talking. And that's what the Knicks are doing tonight.
Bridges went right to the rack that time. He's got 11. It was surprising he was held to just 7 points on Monday. He's had 10 plus in all but 3 games this year. And the outlet almost stolen by Powell. And in the end, he does force the turnover.
Powell diving, striving. He's 6'5". Great anticipation. So Nets would have it in the front court.
Like Towns took a shot in the face during that scramble.
It's a careless pass by the Knicks.
Claxton got him up high. It was Dwight Powell of the Mavericks who was getting mauled here on Monday.
He likes the free throw line.
Yeah, good looking jumper.
Yeah, the 15, the mid-range jumper. He stops right there most of the time. His defense is what they like about Powell, folks. That's what he's renowned for on Brunson now.
Knicks trying to dribble handoff. Towns will take it himself. They had made 6 of their first 7 shots to begin the half before that one.
Good intensity on the defense that time by the Nets.
It's hard to believe, Clyde, as Powell couldn't score over Hart. In December, the Nets were 7-4 as Bridges rises and misses. Fight for the rebound. Porter got it. And Brooklyn was the best defense in the NBA by defensive rating in December, even better than Oklahoma City. But since then, they've lost 2 of 10. And now the Knicks will take over off the Brooklyn miss.
And now the challenge. They're going to challenge it.
Didn't take long for Jordi Fernandez to come off the bench and twirl the fingers. So we have tonight's first replay review. And the Nets are 22-11 in challenges this year. 72-46, the Knicks in front. But will they have the ball when we come back?
The new Infiniti QX80 and QX60 Sport are dark chromed, stealthed out thieves. With beauty that steals your attention and the competition's thunder. first ever Infiniti QX80 and QX60 Sport. Make the perfect getaway in the new Infiniti QX80 Sport during the once-in-a-wintertime event only at your local Infiniti retailer.
Kicks it out. Steps back. Puts it up. Switch. 2 seconds to go. For 3. It's good!
Bet all your favorite player props on FanDuel this NBA season. And now, all customers choose your own reward today. FanDuel, play your game.
As a fan, my way personally of expressing my fandom of the Knicks is to do these illustrations that I do. When I have free time at night or on the weekends, this is my passion. I really enjoy getting lost in the process. I fell in love with the Knicks, both because of the team, but also because of Clyde, the Rolls Royce, and the mink coat. And as I've grown up, I've become more and more enamored with everything about the way he calls the game and his suits. And I went to his restaurant. He had the cow suit on. It really would be a dream come true if he saw this and said to his tailor, I need a blue and orange cow suit. This is amazing.
It is a successful challenge for the Nets. The ball was last touched by Karl Anthony Towns, and we've got video evidence to confirm. Just a fingertip. And a successful challenge for the Nets. They will maintain possession. It was a fight for an offensive rebound, so just 14 on the shot clock for Jordan Fernandez and the Nets.
So something finally went their way.
It has been a rough night for Brooklyn. Shooting just 31% from the field, 7 of 27 from 3. They'll ask Claxton to initiate the offense. Clowney can't get past Anunoby, forced up a tough shot, and Towns gets rebound number 7. Knicks have been pushing the pace off misses and off makes. It's led to some good open looks, but Brunson, an otherwise excellent night, is 1 of 8 from 3.
See, the back door should be open. The paint is open for the Knicks. Nets not looking to exploit the back door.
They're the worst paint scoring team in the NBA, the Nets. And granted, they are in the bottom 5 in just about every category.
And that's the guy you want shooting perimeter shots. Claxton, obviously not his forte.
Knicks will get McBride and Robinson in at the next whistle.
There's a back door. Good job by the Nets to take it away.
Hand off to Bridges instead. Shot clock draining. Hart gets Clowney off his feet in the lane, and the floater falls.
Hart moving and grooving nicely off the bounce, having success.
He has not missed a shot tonight. 5 of 5 from the field, including a 3-pointer.
Just an antithesis of the previous game for Hart when he couldn't find the basket.
And that is a snapshot of how this offensive half has gone for Brooklyn. They're now 3 of 14 from the field since halftime.
Yeah, they rely too much on the 3-ball, folks. Over half their shots are from behind the arc.
And they take 41 a game. That's 6th in the NBA, but they only hit him at 35%, which is bottom 10. Bridges will get a breather. 11 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists.
Called him Brooklyn Bridge when he was with the Nets. We could call him Manhattan Bridge now.
Much better. They've signed into a 4-year, $150 million extension in July. Brunson breaking down Clowney. Gets to the right hand, and with the left, he'll float it home.
The captain over 50% in the mid-range area, folks. He's among the leaders in his lethal shooting there.
Current Knicks lineup is Brunson, McBride, Hart, Anunoby, and Robinson. Gioman, nice look for Porter. He gets an open 3. Wouldn't go.
See, again, everything's a 3. One and done. They're not getting rebounds.
Alley-oop. Alley-oop to Robinson.
Yeah, those guys have had the good ESP tonight. That might get them on ESPN.
Clowney catch and drive. And he got fouled. And if that's on Robinson, it's his fourth. And I believe it's Anunoby. We'll confirm.
Let's take a look at the captain. And Robinson on the same page. Good ESP. Robinson has been magnificent around the hoop tonight.
That is tonight's energizing play presented by C4 Energy.
Brunson leads the team in addition 6 per game. So he's right around that tonight so far with 4.
There was a foul on Anunoby, by the way, his second.
So, Ty, how do you explain the curse of the cup?
The curse of the cup, Clyde. Are you referring to the fact that the Lakers lost 10 of their next 13 games after winning the inaugural cup, and then the Bucks went 3 and 5 after winning it last year?
Yep.
Well, I would suggest that the lack of rest the Knicks got immediately after grinding it out in Vegas had an initial impact.
Were they hanging out with you?
Well, I got a young kid at home. I go to bed very early. Trust me. They got 2 days off coming up, and then they play Philly on Saturday, and then 2 more off days after that. So just 1 game the next 5 nights. That should certainly help. And a night like tonight obviously adds to their spirited play.
But it's uncanny that those 2 teams prior to them, and now the Knicks have suffered after winning the cup.
Yeah, they went an entire month without back-to-back off days. They finally got them in Sacramento, so not quite the same on the road. And that led to a back-to-back sweep at the hands of the Kings and the Warriors. 29-point game after the Clowney 3. Knicks just had their largest lead of 32, and Brunson gets a pair right back. He's got 18 points to lead all scorers.
Brunson and Hart getting for 2 of his bounces tonight. Ball get up on the rim. That's why we mentioned put an arc on your shot, folks. And you get a lucky bounce sometimes. So the Knicks are getting it tonight.
Thomas around a sharp screen. Now it's Traore off the dribble. Long floater is short. Rebound came to Brunson. He saved it to McBride.
Nets in disarray, discombobulated all night.
Hart in the corner, quickly looking to pass, but he threw it to Sharp, who stepped out of bounds, so the Knicks will keep it.
Sharp was anticipating, but the Knicks will have it underneath.
Hart's happy with the result of that play. He was on late night TV yesterday, Clyde.
Yeah, I caught him. On there with the basketball, right? Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Something, yeah.
Talking about his favorite candies as well. You ever been on late night? Any Johnny Carson for you on the resume?
Never made Johnny Carson. What was the guy in New York? They had
Conan? Letterman? That's as deep as I go.
Yeah, you were. I don't even know if you were around when this guy was doing it.
Ed Sullivan?
Dick Cavett.
Dick Cavett, okay.
Yeah.
The legendary Dick Cavett?
Yeah.
He had the smarts to bring you on. We've seen Karl Anthony Towns on late night a couple of times as McBride buries a 3. He's got 9 after a cold shooting night on Monday. We knew it would not last long. He's 2 out of 3 from downtown.
Oh, the Knicks with the knack tonight.
Again, even with an incredible slump, 29% from 3 during this 4-game losing streak, they are still the 3rd best three-point shooting team in the NBA at 38%, as Robinson forced a tough shot from Thomas. McBride swings it to Shamet. Catch and shoot 3. Got it! Landry Shamet's found the range. He's 3 of 3 tonight.
He's returning with a vengeance.
What a difference he could make on both ends. Breaking down the defense. Williams will launch a 3 and connect. Zaire Williams with his first 3-pointer.
Yeah, he's wasting a good game tonight.
McBride made a choice.
They're surrounded by nets, trying to draw the foul, but to no avail.
He obviously thought he was fouled. The referees don't usually bail you out with your back to the basket, as Williams gets 2 more. Going to force a Mike Brown timeout with 5 consecutive points from Zaire Williams.
He's been playing hard. swooping and hooping this time as the Knicks need time.
But still, a commanding 32-point lead for the Knicks with 1:24 to go in the third quarter. Their second 4-game skid of January is about 13.5 minutes away from coming to an end, as we will get you tonight's Cadillac Trivia answer. I'll read it to you again. Mikal Bridges is one of 4 players who has scored 40 points in a game for both the Knicks and the Nets. Who are the other 3?
Tyler gave us Bernard King.
We sure did.
Early on.
Who else? Ray Williams has also been mentioned on this broadcast. And Stephon Marbury.
Steph is usually here. Haven't shown him tonight, but he's usually at all the games.
Post your own questions if you'd like to hashtag Cadillac Trivia. It's another great one from Stephen Rayer and our entire crew putting it together. A Tuesday on MSG, the Knicks take on the Sacramento Kings. Live coverage begins at 7 o'clock with Knicks Game Night, followed by tip-off at 7:30. That's Tuesday on MSG or stream on the Gotham Sports app.
That's Brown's former team, folks. There will be a lot of adrenaline in the Garden that night.
It was an unhappy return to both Sacramento and San Francisco for Mike Brown. Well, I guess the team was in Oakland when he was working under Steve Kerr, helping them win 3 of their 4 championships.
And now they've lost Butler, man. The injury is just decimating the NBA. Everywhere you look.
Robinson down the lane. He was ready for a highlight, but the Nets had other ideas. You can tell Mitch loves playing against the Nets. First time they came here back on November 9th, he had that ridiculous +40 rating in under 20 minutes, something that hasn't been done before ever since they started tracking that kind of thing. Now it's Brunson with Williams on him.
Nets doing a good job with the backdoor play, taking that away. But they've been vulnerable to the alley-oop.
And then Sharp tried to double team and commits the foul.
And Brunson's limping. You know, he's had trouble with that right ankle. Trying to walk it off now.
It was in Sacramento when he tweaked it most recently. Let's see.
Let's take a look. Seems to be okay.
The previous 2 times he's injured it was stepping on someone's foot, but he said this recent time he just tripped on his own feet. Much more smooth on that drive. He's the first scorer to 20 points.
Sure, no ill effects that time. Bouncing and announcing.
Williams hops through a double team, surrounded by Knicks, and scores anyway.
We mentioned the soft touches tonight. Everybody's getting that fortuitous bounce.
Williams, nice to see him back. He missed 6 games with an illness, including 2 just for conditioning recovery. So he was obviously battling through something, and seems back to full strength now as the Knicks have 5 seconds left in this third quarter. Shamet drives baseline, finds Yabusele into the game, but he can't get on the board. And the Knicks outscore the Nets 28-18. They have held the Nets to 20 points or fewer in all 3 quarters so far. So this is their fewest points allowed through 3 frames this season. And they are all over the Brooklyn Nets tonight. Just 1 quarter away from their 13th consecutive win over their Crossbridge rivals. 88-56. Knicks in front after 3.
Rewriting your resume till the cows come home? Introducing Indeed Career Scout. Get your resume tailored instantly.
With hundreds of sales every week, eat well for less at Whole Foods Market.
Great take, everyone. It really is a vacation about now.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, somewhere warm, adventurous. A lot of fun activities for the kids.
Something more relaxing too.
Something different, unique, and something we haven't seen before.
Where are we going?
Experience Abu Dhabi. Babe, you're really strong.
Yeah.
Traction that counts. warmth on demand. Comfort that expands. Welcome to the Genesis GV70 and GV80.
Lease the GV70 for $349 or GV80 for $399 per month. Exclusively at your tri-state Genesis retailers.
Knicks up 32 after 3 quarters. Celebrity Row is presented by Motorola Razr. And Knicks basketball is presented by Chase. Packed house as always here at MSG. Tracy Morgan in the building. And then feel the rhythm, feel the rhyme. Leon Robinson from Cool Runnings. I want it that away. You got AJ McClain. Also, Dougie Doug is here from Cool Runnings. AJ McClain from Backstreet Boys. And then you've got John Franco, great New York Met. And Tyrone Tracy, New York Giant. He's going to play for John Harbaugh next season, sounds like. Then Henrik Lundqvist, Ranger legend. And some more Ranger goaltending royalty with Igor Shesterkin in the house as well. Knicks in command here. They'll start the fourth quarter with McBride, Clarkson, Shamet, Yabusele, and Hukporti. We have not seen Clarkson nor Hukporti yet at this stage in the game. And the hits keep coming for Deuce McBride. And Jordan Clarkson actually played a season low 2 minutes on Monday. It was one of the tighter rotations we've seen all year. Really only 8 guys played. They opened up the bench late with the game in hand as Shamet blocks a 3-pointer out of the hands of Nolan Traore.
Supreme effort by Shamet. Deuce looking for more.
And he's got it. Deuce McBride heating up. 14 points on 3 of 4 from downtown.
Yeah, he was the antithesis of the last game. He couldn't buy one. 1 of 8 from the field. 1 of 4 from behind the arc.
Now Williams off the back rim.
Deuce ubiquitous now. Bounding, 3 balls, dishing.
Shamet for 3. Knicks are 12 of 25 from beyond the arc. Jordy Fernandez needs timeout as they've blown this thing open. It's a 40-point lead early in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, embarrassing performance by the Nets. Oh, the Knicks with the knack. Deuce has been dishing and switching. Shamet blocking shots, and now the 3 ball.
This Friday.
You're charged with the murder of your wife.
I didn't hurt her.
Prove it.
Get in the chair. Go on the ride.
You must move from one piece of the puzzle to the next.
And try to solve the mystery in IMAX.
The clock is ticking.
Mercy. Rated PG-13. Friday.
The Jeep brand is still keeping it fresh after 85 years. See for yourself at the Jeep Start Something New sales event. With more choices, more features, and even more adventure for everyone. Start your adventure today at the Jeep Start Something New sales event with a great deal. Jeep, there's only one.
During the Jeep Start Something New sales event, well-qualified current Jeep Wrangler or Grand Cherokee lessees can lease the 2026 Jeep Wrangler Sport S for $329 a month. Don't miss this great offer. See your tri-state area Jeep brand dealer.
Right now at Papa John's, create your own pizza for only $9.99. On original, thin, or New York-style crust, all $9.99. Usually a pizza with no artificial flavors, colors, or additives costs more. But Papa John's knows you deserve better. Order now.
Freddy's is more than a barbershop. It's a social club. You could stop by if you're getting a haircut, if you just want to hang out, talk Knicks. It just brings everyone together.
I've been coming here for years, and my man Freddie over here, this is the only man that knows how to cut my hair the right way, you know?
It's like a tradition. Watching the games, we barbecue. What brings us together here is the love for our Knicks.
This is how we do, baby. Let's go, Knicks!
That's New York.
Yeah.
Back across. Without a jab, in front, score! What a setup! But Aaron turns, fires, scores! Oh, what a hit!
Clarkson. Tyler Cohen puts it in. Deuce McBride is scorching. He got it. Knicks take the lead. And the way they're playing tonight, I don't think it mattered who came into Madison Square Garden. The Knicks were determined to get a much-needed W.
Yep, from the get-go, they had the fire and desire, the synergy, the energy. So they've been captivating, mesmerizing play tonight by the Knicks.
Terrence Mann gets his first shot of the game. Tyrese Martin the rebound. So it's kind of a reverse of what you normally see, as Williams couldn't throw it down. The Nets are playing so many young guys now that when they empty the bench, they put their veterans on the floor. So Tyrese Martin, Jalen Wilson, Terrence Mann. We've already seen a little bit of Day'Ron Sharpe and Zaire Williams as McBride hesitates inside, got his own rebound. Shamet looks around, sets up in the corner, and nails another three. Landry Shamet is 5 of 5 from downtown.
Running and stunning the Nets now with the 3-ball.
This is the largest Knicks lead of the season. They're up by 43. A whistle and a loose ball foul against Tuckporty. That will allow Tyler Kolek to check into the game.
The Nets have to be approaching one of the lowest scoring games of the season in the NBA now with 56 points, 9:35 remaining.
Well, they still haven't scored in this fourth quarter. The last time the Knicks held an opponent to just 56 points in 3 quarters was back in December of 2024 against the mighty Pelicans. Elbow jumper from Mann misses, and Yabusele gets the rebound.
Mann has missed his last 2 shots. He's a native of Brooklyn, New York.
That's right, born in Brooklyn and eventually moved to Lowell, Massachusetts. Now Clarkson, who has played in every game this year now, only he and Mikal Bridges. By the way, tonight was career game number 600 for Bridges, so he is just over halfway to AC Green's unbreakable record of most consecutive games played.
NBA's current Iron Man.
So he's got 600 in a row. Green had 1,192.
That's just remarkable. And Tyler, when you think about, they had no private planes, 4-star hotels. No flagrant fouls.
How did you do it, Clyde?
Right.
How did you survive? There's a steal underneath Yabusele and Tuckporty. Now Clarkson, a rhythm 3. Yabusele had the rebound swept away by Sharpe. Terrence Mann came here in the Kristaps Porzingis trade. It was a 3-team deal. Porzingis went from Boston to Atlanta. Mann from Atlanta to Brooklyn. Now Sharpe. Out to Mann.
Man misses the last 2. Reluctant to shoot now. Now he's forced to shoot.
He's going to have to.
Yeah.
0 for 3. Still no points. Shamet can't miss right now. 6 out of 6 for Landry Shamet. He's about to have the game high. He's got 18, looking to pass Brunson's 20.
And that's the saying, Shamet, damn it.
You could tell Mike Brown and the Knicks coaching staff were eager to get Shamet back in. And you just think back to the injury he had in Orlando in November. He was trying to break up a dribble handoff, sprained the same shoulder he dislocated last year. And look at him now.
And they're taking him out. I don't understand that philosophy. He's going to the bench after being hotter than July.
Well, the way that injury looked at the time, he wondered if he'd need surgery, if he'd miss the entire season like he pretty much did last year. But he's back, and they hope better than ever.
The resiliency of youth.
No kidding.
Yeah.
One of the many guys on this team who waited around during the offseason hoping they could have a chance to stay in New York, and the Knicks are glad he did. Blocked by Yabusele. Williams denied as the Knicks have a 14-0 lead in this quarter alone.
Crowd still oohing and ahhing with every move.
Clarkson's floater drops in. It's a 48-point lead.
The Knicks have dominated these guys, winning their last 12 games, taking away the rivalry somewhat.
And this is something else, Clyde. Diawara into the game. Martin can't end the drought. The Nets are 0 for 8 in this fourth quarter. 0 for 9 now, and a whistle and a foul against Brooklyn.
Well, we see this with the Knicks when your defense is not providing offense. And look at the Knicks defense. Yapo with the rejects and ignited the Knicks in transition. So the Nets have not had that.
That's tonight's Volvo Protect the Paint, brought to you by Volvo Cars. They are protecting every inch of the court right now, with Brooklyn still stuck on 56 points. There's confusion over whether or not there is a timeout. Jordi Fernandez is out to the court to talk with crew chief Curtis Blair.
Both teams had come into the game losing their last 2 games. So the Knicks, of course, were in dire straits. Embarrassed the last game, hearing boos. So they came out with that fire and desire. They wanted it more. That's what Deuce was saying, that the other teams were hungrier than we were. They wanted it more. But not tonight.
And all Mike Brown wanted, to use his words, not all of his words, but he said, just do your job. And we've heard Jalen Brunson and Josh Hart talk about this team not necessarily sticking to the scouting report, and that the mistakes they're making are fixable, which is equally encouraging and frustrating. If the mistakes are fixable, the Knicks hope they never pop up in the first place, but it also gives you hope that if they can make a few tweaks and corrections, they can get right back to where they were 3 weeks ago, when they had a 19-point lead in San Antonio, about to go 24-9. Meanwhile, we have a timeout and a challenge from the Knicks. 6:27 to go in the fourth quarter. Right now, this would be tied for the biggest win in Knicks franchise history.
The Knicks are rolling here at home.
This is the best place to play.
Well, the home court dominance continues.
And the Knicks are clicking on all cylinders right now.
Towns. The energy we have here, unmatched.
Get exclusive offers on select new Volvo models. Contact your Volvo retailer to learn more.
Your perfect winter getaway is calling. Escape to the great outdoors. Relax and unwind in style. From the bright lights of the big city to the wide open places beyond it, and everywhere in between. New York State, everything you love. Plan your trip at iloveny.com.
These dishes just aren't getting clean.
Problem isn't your machine. It's likely your detergent. I recommend switching to Cascade Platinum Plus. These new pods dissolve completely and have Dawn, breaking down up to 100% of tough stuck-on foods. Cascade Platinum Plus.
Stop! That's not a parachute! Need an eye exam? Scheduling is such a hassle. VisionWorks makes it simple. That is simple! And that is a long way down!
VisionWorks. See the difference.
To all New York Rangers supporters, all I can say from the bottom of my heart is thank you to the people in the city I love, the Big Apple.
Well, the Knicks had challenged what was ruled a Jordan Clarkson offensive foul, and we've been told it's an unsuccessful challenge. They will say that push-off warrants a foul on Clarkson. Now it's time for tonight's bucket chart, brought to you by your hometown KFC. And it centers on Jalen Brunson. How about the shot chart tonight, Clyde? Even though he missed 7 of his 8 3-pointers, he was awfully efficient otherwise.
Yep, Brunson had the 3-ball going. He provided the impetus early on from the get-go, getting the Knicks off to an auspicious start, wheeling and dealing, shaking and baking. And you can say, Ty, that he was finger-licking good tonight.
Very good, partner. Hardly missed from 2. 20 points, currently the game high. Landry Shamet was probably going to have about 40 points in this fourth quarter, but they wisely took him out to give some younger players some run. Yabusele hustles and couldn't save it before stepping on the baseline. So we mentioned heading toward the last timeout. The Knicks are up by 48. They have won 3 games in their franchise history by 48. in 94, 72, and 68. And now whistling an offensive foul on Day'Ron Sharpe will give the Knicks the ball back.
So where do the Knicks go from here now? What's the next game?
Well, they've got 2 days off, and then it's a rivalry week matchup, national TV game in Philly on Saturday. That's a 3 o'clock tip.
It's going to be a barometer game for them there.
Yeah, they're 0-2 against the Sixers this year.
Oh, yeah, right. So that's a big game.
The Sixers won both games in this building.
Got to capitalize on this momentum that they gained tonight.
Of course, the biggest playoff win in Knicks franchise history came against the Boston Celtics when they eliminated them in Game 6. The title favorites unable to go back-to-back, let alone make the conference finals. A foul on the Knicks is Sharpe.
But the Knicks have to get away from their capricious play. They have to gain more consistency now. This is what they need to get back to their December to remember, when they were dominating, and not January, where they've been very erratic. The defense, the offense, turnovers, too many fouls. So it was a real calamity for them coming up into this game.
Sharpe gets the first, and that is indeed the first point of the fourth quarter for the Nets. They were 0 of 10 from the field, 0 of 2 from 3.
So they won't set the record.
We're still a hard-working stat crew led by Tyler Friedis diving into the lowest scoring game.
Going back in the archives when they didn't keep them. They're going back that far.
We can tell you the largest margin of victory in a game this year. The Hornets beat the Jazz by 55. That was 150-95. So
that was recent, right?
The Knicks are in that area. Down the lane, Diawara.
Yeah, man, the culprit with the foul. Diawara always looking to score, folks. I like his effort. He's only 20 years of age. A Frenchman at the line for 2.
He's had some moments this year, Diawara. Started a handful of games, including December 29th in New Orleans. 18 points, 2 steals, and he made all 4 of his 3-pointers. And then the next game he started in San Antonio, we referenced earlier, the 19-point Spurs comeback. Diawara started that game, and he made 2 early threes. And he went a little cold, and they went in a different direction with the rotation. But he has more than flashed the potential and the athleticism you're hoping for with the only rookie on the roster.
3, he could be the 3-and-D guy.
Which is a very high-value role in the NBA right now.
Yep.
Gets both free throws. He was actually 1 of 4 from the line all year before making those 2. So another nice step in the right direction for Diawara. Knicks back up by 48. In a quarter, they've got 2 points. Tyrese Martin says, why not? Extending the range. Then he hits the 3.
That's been their range all evening, the 3-ball. Nothing on the interior for the Nets.
It's a kick ball against Brooklyn. That's Martin's first shot of the night. Up until a couple weeks ago, he was averaging 20 minutes a game, but the youth movement has taken over, and even though Martin's only 26, that kind of ages him out of the timeline for Brooklyn, the second youngest team in the league.
They're not talking about the Nets tanking yet, Tyler.
Well, it depends on who you listen to. As Kolek turned it over, Powell on the inside-out move almost lost it.
Well, we know Washington, they've got them.
They're doing a nice job of it, yes.
Yeah, the Pelicans.
7 straight losses for the Wizards, by the way, and Knicks fans have kept one eye on Washington because if their pick falls outside the top 8, it actually goes to the Knicks. But that is highly unlikely. Diawara zips a pass to Kolek. He'll catch and shoot and knocks down a 3. Tyler Kolek on the board.
That's why that pass should never be allowed. Direct pass across the court like that. Poor D, but we've seen it all evening from the Nets.
Man drives, kicks. That pass was not allowed. Kolek on the other end muscles his way in and scores and 1. 5 straight Tyler Kolek points and a chance for another at the free throw line.
Delighting, exciting the crowd tonight is Kolek. Let's take a look, the crossover. Elevating off the glass. There's the contact and the continuation. So he's at the line for one. Before that, he had the 3 balls. So the old-fashioned play and a conventional 3 ball.
Kolek, another guy who's really popped on certain nights this year. Still hoping for his first 10-point game since Christmas, though. Man, got stripped by Clarkson.
Get the ball to the middle of the court. There it is. Now you're doing it.
Kolek unselfish, and Clarkson avoids the turnover. Diawara's got all night. Hits the 3. Mohamed Diawara from downtown. And the Knicks continue pouring it on. They lead this game by 54. Remember, largest margin of victory this year in the NBA, 55. The fewest points scored in the game this year, 78 by the Indiana Pacers. It was the Detroit Pistons who held them to that mark just 4 days ago. Dadier off the dribble, gets around Wilson. Hukporti inside with a left-hand slam.
They're just pouring it on the Nets now. Embarrassing performance. And Nets have no resistance now, being pulverized by the Knicks. Oh,
Hukporti got
right
a piece
in front
of it.
Of us. Look out.
We've already had enough ball handling today, Clyde.
Yeah.
Now man steps back, takes the 3. Rebound Hukporti.
The Knicks continuing their dominance at home, 16-6 coming into this game. The Nets are only 6-13 on the road, so getting overwhelmed again tonight.
They are 1 of 14 from the field in this 4th quarter, but now they'll get back to the free throw line.
We mentioned the Nets, the last 2 games, they're giving up 125 points a game. And obviously, when you're doing that, you're not going to win too many games. So the Knicks should headed that way right now at 117.
This is the biggest lead the Knicks have had in the play-by-play era that started back in the 90s. As Wilson misses the free throw. Stay tuned after the game. You might be up all night with highlights, analysis, and player reaction to tonight's game. There's a whole lot to break down on the Audi Knicks postgame. It's coming up next on MSG. With Bill Pito, Wally Zerbiak, Alan Hahn.
Well, they often call me Pito.
I do not know that song, but it sounds great. And we should have Monica McNutt making an appearance on the postgame show as well. Great to have her back.
Yeah, the crew is back, ready to roll, except for Mike.
Hall of Famer on national assignment, of course, tonight.
All right. So we're happy to have you here, Tyler.
Oh, thanks, Tom. Someone's got to do it, right?
Legend, yeah, you do an excellent job.
I always say it's 2 Hall of Famers in the booth. Clyde Frazier as a player and Clyde Frazier as a broadcaster. You see Towns and Bridges.
Winning and grinning tonight.
You said it. Which, of course, is the name of your award-winning children's book, right, Clyde?
Oh, yeah. I got a coloring book out now. I have to give it to your son, yeah. So you can get some style, man. Come up with the fashion.
I'm trying to guess what the name is. Styling, profiling?
Somewhat, yeah.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. Good to know.
So teaching fashion, words, dishing, swishing.
Can't wait to get it. Clarkson missed the first, got the second, so a 57-point lead. Every Knick available has played tonight. Only one has not scored yet. With a force feed, Pacom Dadier. Wilson got a look. Brick. Rebound, Clarkson. 13 different Knicks have scored. There's Dadier. Put him in a tough spot, but he's on the attack. Lost the handle, pushed it out to Diawara.
There's Dadier. Give him a shot.
Late clock for Diawara. Missed it. Got it back on the 3rd try. Got it to go.
A quantum leap by Diawara. So 3 times he was up. Nobody else got a chance to jump. Look at this. The Knicks still swarming to the ball, creating havoc, forcing turnovers. The Nets want time.
And they're going to have a timeout called by Jordi Fernandez and the Nets just to save that last possession with under a minute to go. The Knicks are up by 59. It's the largest lead in an NBA game this season. If they hold on by more than 55, it'll be the biggest win of the year in the NBA. And look at that, the biggest wins in Knicks history. With apologies to the Philadelphia 76ers over the years, they've been on the bad end of 3 of those 5 games. It looks like you were involved in a couple of those, Clyde, back in the 70s.
Yeah, pouring it on. I've been on the other end too, Ty. A few times.
We've had plenty of electrifying plays tonight, but let's take a look at the Audi electrifying play from a blowout Knick win.
Yeah, defense, their best offense. That's what's been lacking with the Knicks. Not forcing turnovers, getting back in transition. Shamet, the beneficiary with the lethal 3-ball shooting tonight. Again, the captain breaking down the D. Shamet swishing. Nothing but net.
He was as hot as anybody tonight. Shamet, 6 of 6 from downtown, helping the Knicks shoot 50% from 3. They were 16 of 32.
After a game like this, host will say, "You guys stink. Get out of my face. I don't even want to see you tomorrow." Take the day off.
Well, again, they'll have 2. Of course, they'll be practicing at some point.
Yeah, or he'd punish us. He'd make us come in and watch the film, and he'd walk out. He's just having fun, and you got to sit and watch it, you know, after you practice, so he mess up your whole day.
You guys always responded well, though.
Yeah.
Well, that layup from Terrence Mann cuts into the deficit. It is now a 57-point game.
Got some cheers from the Net fans. Come on, Donnie, you get on the books.
The last Knick to not score. 9 to shoot for Kolek. Takes Martin off the dribble. Steps back. Front rim, no. Porty fight for the rebound, but Wolf took it away. And that should do it. It's a score you had to see to believe. The Brooklyn Nets held to 66 points on that 3 from Wolf. It's their second shot made in 16 attempts in a 7-point fourth quarter as the Knicks secured their largest margin of victory in franchise history, a 54-point win right when they needed it, blowing out the Brooklyn Nets 120-66.
And to be indicative of the Knicks fans, 3/4 of the fans are still here watching and enjoying this game tonight.
It is the biggest win across the NBA this season, or they just missed it in the end by 1, actually. Danny Wolf's 3 brought it to 54, so salute to the Hornets for beating the Jazz by 55.
Saw Juwan Howard there, former NBA player, coach at Michigan. His son is in the league. He's with the Nets now. There's Howard.
Juwan Howard and Rick Brunson, they briefly played together with the Houston Rockets 20 years ago. And Mikal Bridges, of course, played with Cam Thomas in Brooklyn. Great night for the Knicks, and Jalen Brunson with 20 points. He's the captain. He gets the interview.
Thank you, Tyler. Jalen, that's the largest margin of victory in Knicks history. What did you see tonight from your team that we haven't seen enough lately?
A win.
We could be a little more specific because you have talked the last couple of days about things that the team needed to do. So if there was one thing that you saw from the very beginning of this game when the tone was set in that first quarter, what was it?
Honestly, the way we played with energy from start to finish, it was a key for us. Obviously, you know, when the shot's not flowing with us and during other games, you know, we got to rely on something else. It has to be our defense, has to be our energy. So we got to make that consistent. We got to keep doing that night in, night out.
What were the last couple of days like, though, for this team within the group?
A lot of soul searching and a lot of self-reflection. We got a long way to go to be the team we know we can be, but still a long season.
One thing we didn't get a chance to talk to you about that we found out on Monday, that you were voted a starter in the All-Star game. Second straight year, third straight All-Star appearance. What does it mean to you to be voted by the fans as a starter in the All-Star game?
Means more than, means the world to me. And I came here and not really know what to expect, but this place has embraced me, this fan base has embraced me, and I wouldn't have it any other way.
Thanks very much, Jalen. Congratulations on the win. Tyler?
Thank you, Alan. Well, Jalen Brunson helped get this team back on track, and it started on the defensive end. They allowed 66 points tonight, the fewest given up in an NBA game since 2016. And the Knicks are back in the win column. Stay tuned. Clarkson. Tyler Cohen pops it in. Coach McBride is scorching. He got it. Knicks take the lead.
Do you want free internet? Forever? You got it. Really. We mean it. Spectrum is offering free fiber-powered internet forever. Want it? Just call this number and switch 4 mobile lines to Spectrum for a lifetime of internet you never pay for. It's not a trial. It's an unprecedented offer. So we'll say it again. Free fiber-powered internet forever. Have you called yet? Because your internet is forever. But this ad ends now.
Back when all these great roads were built, some turned out straight as an arrow, others long and winding. Loaded up on switchbacks, hairpins, and breathtaking views, it's almost as if everyone knew we were coming. The X3, X5, and X7, proudly assembled in South Carolina at BMW's largest plant worldwide. Release the 2026 BMW X3 30X Drive for $599 per month.
Hey, New York, you're used to getting everything ASAP. Guess what? With the Caesar Sportsbook app, you can place your bets in just a few taps. It's made with New Yorkers in mind. It's direct, it's no nonsense, it's your calling to join all the sports betting action. Because Caesar Sportsbook was made for fans who don't want to miss a single play. Don't just spectate, participate with Caesar Sportsbook, official sports betting partner of the New York Knicks.
While our nation's best are giving their blood, sweat, and tears in Milan, we'll be sweating right along with them. Michelob Ultra, superior is brewed here.
Introducing